or doing good day to you all, and welcome back to another episode of my Blessed YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing, and I want to say thank you to all of you who already subscribed. I really do appreciate your subscriptions and your support. And when you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload a new video. So by now you would have seen the documentary, or you've not heard about it. Well, I'm going to put a link to this documentary that has been done by BBC concerning sex for grades in West African universities, and they picked one university in Nigeria and another university in Ghana. So I just want to chip in what I know about the Nigerian situation, that it's actually very, very prevalent and very, very common, that you can almost say that it's a normal thing. In Nigerian universities, tales abound of this kind of behavior, this kind of anomaly that is almost accepted as normal. Women are just preyed upon. There is a lot of sex for this, sex for that, sex for your Nollywood role. Like one of the actors have said, Yule Dosho, he actually made a comment that there's also sex for role in Nollywood. There is sex for promotion. There is just, anything goes. And there is no shame for the perpetrator. There is no repercussion for the perpetrators. So the women are meant to bear the guilt and bear the shame. And they always say to the women, oh, you didn't read your book. There's something you are doing. Oh, you are dressing provocatively. There must be something you have done. Yes, like it just have to be the woman and something she has done. There is nothing about the man that there is actually no anger towards the man. There is no annoyance towards the man. There is no punitive measures from the law enforcement agency, from the judiciary against these perpetrators, only the women. So the women have to bear in shame and suffer in silence, because even if you speak out what has happened to you, even the shame may extend to your families, and they say, hush, 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 don't disgrace us and stuff like that. So yeah, it is really, really a sad situation that it has to take a foreign journalist to come to Nigeria and do this kind of undercover investigative journalism. And that is not to say that they don't have that possibility or that capability to carry out this kind of undercover investigation in Nigeria, but it's also the problem of what are you going to do about it? Most times the undercover journalists, they will lose their job because the judiciary is not going to do anything about it. The law enforcement is not ready to do anything about it. The senate of the universities that are actually there to checkmate all this kind of activities and behavior are not going to do anything about it. They are just going to push it under, and at the most, they will transfer the lecturer. They will just tell him to resign, instead of them to kind of punish him, sack him, and say why he's being sacked, so that it will be in his profile that he has committed this act and he was sacked. No, they will just kind of ask him to resign. So when he resigns, he doesn't have any taint on him. He can just move on. This is one of the cases that went high profile. Someone that was in Professor Solomon Atere. He was in LASU, Lagos State University, and he continued to pray and harass his female students to the point that the university found that, and in fact the evidence against him was so much, and the university did not sack him. They just told him to resign, and he resigned, and now he moved on to another university and carried on from there, and he did the same thing. They say he should resign, and when the case is going on and going on, the concern of those people who are supposed to take action is like it's so trivial what he has done. They don't want to lose his expertise because of the sexual allegations or the sexual harassment that he's committing. They don't want him to suffer for it. Like they don't want him to suffer for his crime, for the sexual harassment and predation that he's doing on young female students. They feel that his expertise is more has more weight, has more value, and that what he is doing is so trivial that it doesn't warrant him to be sacked. So that is their mentality. They trivialize things that relate to women. So they feel that what he's doing, he's damaging the future of women, damaging the destiny of these women, ruining families who may have depended on their female children for their future, just destroying lives. But they feel it's so trivial that they cannot sack their lecturers, their professor, because of sex. But sexual misconduct continues, and people are losing their lives because sometimes they even go as far as impregnating the women and forcing them to have abortions, and a lot of them are going through a lot of things. Some have died, and they don't see anything serious about this enough to sack them. The justices, the law enforcement, everything is compromised. Like when you're talking about very, very deep corruption and violent sentiments against women, and so you see that nobody takes this thing serious, because they are just okay by blaming even if you go to social media, you will still see people blaming and making excuses. At the most they will say it's the devil that came upon him, whatever. But they don't want to give the perpetrators the chance, to pay the consequences for the crime, for the future, for the lives that they are destroying. So yeah, it is possible that BBC may be able to provoke some kind of reaction. Who knows? But this is our hope, because this thing is so prevalent, and women have been crying. A lot of women had to drop out of the university. Again, this culture of carryover. Imagine the system that the colonial master left. These people, they have not been able to change it. How can somebody fail one subject, one course in an exam in a whole year, and the person will have to wait for another year? Just imagine that. Like, this is so crazy, and I feel so sad when I see like some people have to repeat a whole year because they failed one course. And this is what these lecturers are using against the students. When I was in the university here in the University of Vienna, if you fail an exam, you have 3 options. You can fail that particular exam 3 times, and when you fail it 3 times, there is going to be a commission to know why you are failing it. And these are measures that have been put in place. It's not as if anybody is better, anybody is angelic or something, but when there is a problem, the system provides solution, tries to solve the problem. Don't just look on and pretend nothing is happening. How can somebody fail one exam, and because of one exam a whole year? And then if you fail, and the person now fails you another year, that is 2 years, he fails you. And these monsters that are predators that call themselves professors and lecturers, they are preying on the students with this method. So when they fail you once, that's 1 extra year. They fail you another year, you may end up failing 5, 7 times. They will just fail you. You will not even know why they fail you. You can't even call for your papers. They will say the paper is missing. Like, there is so much lawlessness. Like, there is so much anything goes that it is unthinkable. So yeah, shame on them. Shame on all of you Nigerian professors. Shame on all of you that you are condoning this kind of thing. Of course, it's not all of them. Of course, there are always exceptions, but we are talking about something that is so pervasive that, out of every 10, maybe there are 6 that will be molested. We are talking about something that is in some universities, and I've heard that in Imo State University is really, really very bad. So I'm really disappointed that BBC didn't go to the east. It only stopped in Lagos. So it's not that it's their job, but I would have really wished that they have gone to the east. At least let us even have a glimpse of what is going on there too, because I've heard stories that are really, really troubling. I personally Actually, I'm a graduate of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Shout out to all Futarians, great Futarians, articulate Futarians. Yeah, so this is what we used to say in those days. So yeah, I am a graduate of Federal University of Technology, Akure, but I want to say it, this was not my experience. I was not a victim, and I can proudly say that I'm so grateful to God. And none of my close friends were victims or someone I live with in the same room. I did hear some stories, but I don't know if it happened while I was there on campus or it was something that happened before, but it was not my experience. This is actually interesting because FUTA, the Federal University of Technology, Akure, at the time was, a male-dominated university because it was a university of technology. So there were really a lot of male. Like if you go to the Faculty of Engineering, there are like maybe at the most 10 students in the whole of that faculty that are female, and the most of the females are in biology department, and some in biochemistry department, and some in geology, in chemistry, like half and then some in some agricultural courses. That's only where you get to see females, but on the whole, it was really a male dominated university, so you would expect that something like this would be really rampant, but that was not the case. I can boldly say that throughout my stay at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, nobody harassed me sexually, and nobody harassed my close friends, and nobody harassed everyone I knew. This one I can say and I can vouch for. So you would actually think that it would be very, very common because there were so many males and a few females, but it was not that common. It was really, really, really not common in FUTA. So I want to say thank you to all the FUTA lecturers and FUTA professors. I'm saying this because this is my experience, and this is the experience of my friends that we went to the university together. The experience of my roommates that I shared the same space with while I was in the university. I didn't see that anybody was harassed, nobody spoke up, or like, you cannot know what is going on in the whole of the university, but from my own tiny circle in the university, this was not the experience. So I want to say thank you to all the lecturers in FUTA at that time. I don't know about now, but yeah, of course, there are exceptions, and it may seem that our university was an exception. I don't know. So I want to say shout out to all the people who graduated from FUTA 2001, 2002, 2003. I'm sure that you will still know me, or I will know you. Please leave a comment if you are a Futarian, great Futarian, articulate Futarian. Yeah, this was my own experience, but that said, I know that people suffer a lot, and I just hope that this exposition from the outside world will move them to do something about it. I also hope that, the women who have suffered, who have been harassed, who have, kind of suffered in the hands of all these predators, that they are able to come into some form of healing, and be able to live their lives. Yeah, so this is all I want to say about this. And yeah, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.